Manchester machine, Chris Allen, originally from Manchester, England, now based in Melbourne. He trains under Dana Goodson, and let me tell you, this guy is one vicious customer. Since he arrived in Australia late last year, he has been on an unstoppable knockout rampage, and the question is, can Amir Shafyipour put an end to Chris Allen's reign of terror here tonight? Mark Castanini, do you fancy Chris Allen's chances?
Well, what can I say, Michael? We haven't seen too much of Chris Allen, purely because of the fact that he finishes his fight so early. He just KOs anyone who dares to step in the ring with him, and I'll certainly say that you've got to be looking out early in the rounds for him to start. He's a very explosive fighter. He'll be maybe a little bit more tentative tonight, fighting the likes of Amir, but who's to say? This guy from Britain is certainly something special.
And if you speak to ring announcer Howard Lee, he'll tell you that one of the most frightening sights he's ever seen in his illustrious career is when he looks into the eyes of this man Chris Allen before a fight. He says Allen's eyes are just cold. You can't read them, they're just cold, and they're on a demolition mission. And it's a frightening sight indeed, and that's a big comment coming from Howard Lee, who's been around for many a time. The crowd here at Illicit Receptions have gone absolutely bananas, and that can only mean one thing: the emergence of Tarak Solak's #1 man, the man they call the Prince of Persia, Amir Shafyipour. You talk about well-travelled fighters. Well, folks, this man has fought here, there and everywhere. From the Middle East to Sweden to Hong Kong, Thailand and now Australia. He captured the WAKO world title earlier this year against Serbia's Peter Stojlovic with a third-round knockout, and he's looking to capture the world title #2 here against Chris Allen tonight. The Persian Prince, Amir Shafyipour. Mark the Hammer Castanini along with myself, Michael Chavallo, ringside for this one, right around the country on Fox Sports. This for the ISKA World Super Welterweight Muay Thai title. Mark the Hammer, the crowd have gone absolutely crackers for the Prince.
Well, Amir, we spoke to his trainer and promoter Tarak Solak earlier this week, said certainly he's looking a picture of focus. They weren't too confident when they took the fight, but they took the challenge anyway, but now they're super confident. They reckon he's come along a treat, and he is ready to rumble here tonight.
Let's go across to our ring announcer, Howard Lee.
Thank you, Michael Chavallo and Mark the Hammer Castanini. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been sanctioned by the Professional Boxing Control Board of Victoria, incorporating the Martial Arts Board. At ringside, Mr. Bart McCarthy, Mr. Malcolm McGuinness, Mr. Bernard Balmer and Mr. Gus Mercurio. This bout has been sanctioned by the International Sport Karate Association. Ringside physician and chief, Dr. Peter Lewis. At ringside, his colleague, Dr. Michael Briondi. Your scrutineer of the point system and ISCA representative, Mr. Norman Liu. Your timekeeper, Miss Anika Williams. I'm Howard Lee on behalf of promoter Tarak Solak, welcoming you to the challenge, our main event. This bout kindly sponsored by Mobile World Communication. Crazy John. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask for your indulgence, please. No national anthems, but quiet for the Ramoy.
The Hammer, what we're seeing at the moment, of course, the traditional Ram Muay, the traditional pre-fight ritual of the Muay Thai fighters originating from Thailand. This is to pay homage to the gods of the sport, to pay homage to one's trainer, to one's corner, and to the sport in general.
And also to pay respect to your opponent, and wish him no ill harm or injury, and hope that both fighters come out of the ring as they entered.
A very significant pre-fight ritual it is, and you'll see both fighters firing imaginary arrows into the corner of their opponent. Very much a part of Muay Thai, Thai kickboxing custom and tradition. It's a centuries-old art originating from Thailand. And what we are going to see tonight is 5 by 3 minute rounds of action, knees and elbows. They're letting it all go.
Certainly something special. These fighters are using all 8 weapons: hands, feet, knees and elbows. And you can bet that it's going to be an explosive bout and world title indeed.
Listen to my commands. If I ask you to break, I expect you to break cleanly. If I tell you to stop, you must stop immediately. Do you understand? This is your first and last warning, all right? Touch gloves now and in the last round, and defend yourselves at all times. Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 5 rounds for the International Sport Karate Association Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Would you welcome on my left, occupying the red corner, originally from Manchester in England, British and European champion, with a record of 32 wins, no draws, 4 losses, 15 wins coming by way of knockout, scaling 68.60 kilograms, now based in Hoppers Crossing, Victoria, part of the Master Dana Goodson stable. Would you welcome the challenger, wearing Muay Thai trunks of black, gold and red, the Manchester fighting machine, Chris Allen. Across the ring in the blue corner, trained by Mr. Tarek Sodik. In February this year, he captured the World Championship. He comes from Iran via Sweden. He's kickboxed in boxing countries including Iran, Sweden, Hong Kong and Thailand. Now based in Brunswick, Victoria, Australia. Fondly known as the Persian Prince, the Iran Invader. Scaling 69 kilograms with a record of 42 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses, 34 wins coming by way of big knockout. Would you welcome the world champion, wearing blue trunks with gold and red, Amir Shafyipour. World Championship. Try spectacle.
The time for talk is over as we prepare to get underway in the first round of our world title fight. The Persian Prince Amir Shafyipour out of the blue corner against the Manchester Machine Chris Allen out of the red corner. We're scheduled for 5 by 3 minutes of hardcore Muay Thai action.
What you can expect to see here tonight, Michael, is that the fighters may start fairly sedately in the first round, pick up the pace as it works. These are 5 by 3 minute rounds, so the fighters really have to conserve their energy for the later rounds if they're to last the distance.
On paper, these are the 2 most evenly matched fighters we've seen in Muay Thai in Australia for quite a long time. Although both of them have only been down under for a relatively short time, they've both become incredible celebrities. Of course, Amir Shafyipour appearing on the front cover of International Kickboxer magazine earlier this year. And a huge following behind him, as has Chris Allen. Both men trading some early leg kicks. You talk about hardened customers. Amir Shafyipour served on the front line of the Iran-Iraq war, and he says that after witnessing the atrocities of war, nothing frightened him in the ring. That's that fearless mentality of his that really scares a lot of his opponents even before they step in against the Prince.
We see Amir attempting an elbow there, but not enough airtime in the middle there to get the elbow through, and Chris Allen negating it with his forearm.
Shafyipour just delivers a nice right hand to the breadbasket of Chris Allen. It'll be interesting to see if this fight goes the distance. We haven't seen either of these men be pushed to the distance so far in Australia. Actually, I should say in their last couple of fights indeed, where Chris Allen knocked out Dean Keaty in his last fight, and Amir Shafyipour did the same to Peter Stojlovic.
See, Chris Allen has a slight height and reach advantage over Amir. Not posing too much problem for Amir at this stage. But as we've seen in the earlier fight with Ilyas Elshani and Matt Rollins, I'd say that Chris Allen's kneeing capabilities are very similar to Ilyas, and he'll certainly whip that left knee straight up to Amir's head, give him a chance.
Allen just lining up the knee to the ribs of Amir Shafyipour. There's one to the left rib cage. And another. Shafyipour trying to get his own knees in, but Allen doing a good job of negating him. There's the end of the first round of world title action. Mark the Hammer Castaneda, the crowd loving every moment of it.
They certainly are, Michael. It's a very rare sight indeed to see a fight under full Thai rules in Australia. This is something special. But, Chris Allen looking the goods. There we see him whipping the knee, and Amir trying that elbow, but just miscuing. Chris Allen working left and right knees into the body of Amir quite well. He's finding the gap, he's finding those floating ribs, and he's putting his kneecap straight in there and crushing him home. But we've just seen at the end of that first round, Chris Allen also try a big elbow that just missed the mark, but I'm sure we'll see a few more of those coming out. And of course, that elbow is a really, really powerful part of the body if it connects.
Let's rumble in the second round. The irresistible force meets the immovable object. This for the ISKA World Super Welterweight title. Well-timed leg kick by the Manchester Machine, Chris Allen. Shafyipour trying to line up his head with the right hand. As the fight progresses, we'll see the tempo increase. Traditionally, Thai fights, as Mark said earlier on, do start at a slower pace and increase as the rounds go on. Shafyipour whipping in that right round kick. Allen just measuring his opponent. They stand toe-to-toe in centre ring. Across illicit receptions. Shafyipour trying to line him up there with the right elbow. Came close, but no cigar. Allen moves in, stings him with a nice jab.
Of course, Michael, those elbows, there's not a lot of meat there. You catch one of those elbows on the forehead or in a bony part of your face, they'll certainly open up a cut. If it's bone on bone, but anything that clashes like that, the skin will always split. And that's what these fighters will be aiming to do. They'll be aiming to try and get the elbow in either above the eye, around the forehead area, or just below the eye, where it's very bony and there's not a lot of flesh, and they'll try and open up the cut there.
Chris Allen just sticking in that left jab again. Allen going downstairs, a sweeping leg kick to that lead leg of Amir. Leads him with the jab, probes the right hand down to the midsection, and Allen delivers a crushing knee to the ribs. You can cut the atmosphere in here with a knife. The electricity surrounding this world title bout It's absolutely amazing. Shafyipour comes over the top with a big right hand. They tie it up. That's the end of the second round of action. Mark the Hammer Castanini, it doesn't get much better than this.
It certainly doesn't. There we see Amir's corner. His trainer, Tarek Solek, just leaping into the ring saying, and that was a good round. They're happy with that one. Not a lot of grappling though from Chris Allen's side. I would have expected him to go the grapple a little bit more and try and work those deadly knees of his. We see the fighters here just trading blows. Chris Allen whips a round kick in, and Amir comes back with that thumping round kick of his own. That one really would have taken its toll on Chris Allen's ribs. But, these boys certainly loading everything up, and they have the precision and the experience to, when they see a gap open, they'll certainly fire a kick or a punch in and try and optimise that benefit of finding the gap. But as I said earlier, Chris Allen not really going the grapple as much as I would have expected him to, and perhaps he's saving that a little bit for the later rounds. Well, for the third round maybe. So we'll just come back after this break in the rounds, and we'll see how Chris Allen goes to work with his knees, if indeed he does.
Seconds out, round 3.
We roll into the third round of this world title fight. The tempo will increase, folks. You can bet on it. Chris Allen going to work now. Shafyipour chasing him into the blue corner. Allen ties him up, tries to work those knees, gets him with the right elbow to the side of the head. And another one by Chris Allen.
He's got to get his arm around a bit more. He's catching him only with the inside of the arm. He wants to really aim it with the point of that elbow. That's Chris Allen, but Amir's burrowing his head in and not really letting Chris get a good clean shot on him.
Amir just wading in with the left jab, ties him up. Allen works the big right knee to the ribs.
You see Amir with the advantage now. You had Chris Allen's head burrowed in. There you see Amir with an elbow of his own.
An uppercut elbow by Chris Allen found the mark under the jaw of the Prince. Backs the Manchester Machine into the neutral corner, but Allen comes out firing. And throws Allen to the canvas like a rag doll.
Amir's corner yelling for him to keep the pressure on, keep attacking, don't give him an inch.
The crowd have gone absolutely bananas here at Illicit Receptions. A stunning elbow there by Chris Allen. Goes down set for the leg kick.
Amir trying the spinning back fist there, just didn't time it right.
Leading in with that jab again, trying to line up the big right hand afterwards. Uppercut by Amir came close but didn't quite find the mark. Allen wades in with the left elbow.
It was a lead elbow.
And that dragon tail whipping round kick of the Prince, Amir Shafyipour. Oh, a slamming kick to the ribs again by Shafyipour. That'll take the starch right out of you. And those left ribs of Chris Allen have felt the brunt of those round kicks so far in this fight. Chance of Amir erupting here at Illicit Receptions.
The crowd getting right behind him. Amir looking pumped up. With this crowd behind him, Chris Allen tries for a leaping right hand, right elbow, but it didn't come off. You see Chris Allen kneeing to Amir's thighs as well, in close. That's good knee work from Chris Allen. You don't always have to get those knees up high. You can also try and cork the thigh and retard your opponent's movement.
Another whipping high left round kick by the Prince.
Well, the question is, could Chris Allen be playing possum and letting Amir spend his pennies, so to speak, and storm home?
End of the third round of this world title fight between the Persian Prince and the Manchester Machine. Mark the Hammer Castanedi made an interesting point there. Could Chris Allen be keeping something in reserve and using it in the fourth and fifth rounds?
Well, certainly that was Amir's round, Michael, but I'd have to say Chris Allen is a very experienced campaigner, and he might just let Amir go and see what he's got to offer, and you know, come back from there, because once he sees what he's got, he sees his best, then he can work in under it. Here we see the boys going in for the grapple. Amir just throwing Chris Allen down as he tried to execute a knee. It was a combination of being off balance and also being thrown. So from a crowd point of view, probably could have looked a lot worse than what it really was, Chris Allen tumbling backwards. But the interesting point will be, as we come back to the fourth round, will Chris Allen pick up the pace now that he knows what that he's taken Amir's best, and that he can weather the storm, so to speak, and take it and come back with a vengeance in the fourth round? That's what we'll have to wait and see.
We're just having a look in the corner there of Amir Shafyipour, and they're putting some ice to a large lump that's developed on his forehead. No doubt the result of one of those crushing elbows.
I'd say that was from Chris Allen. From the jumping right elbow that was executed probably halfway through that round, where Chris Allen dummied the leg kick and then came over with the big right elbow, chambered from way back. So that's probably what's caused that damage. As I said, there's not a lot of flesh on your elbow, nor is there on the forehead. So any clash at all will certainly damage some capillaries and make a bit of damage there on the fleshy part of the fighter's forehead.
We get underway in the fourth round of action. Incredible atmosphere here at Elysee Receptions. Allen just sticking him there with the left hand.
The auditorium here has certainly come alive for this, the main bout. The large crowd on hand here are certainly loving it. And these two boys have not disappointed one single person.
The stakes don't get any higher. World title up for grabs. Shafyipour just leading him, probing with that left jab, trying to line up the big right hand. Chris Allen fires a round kick to the ribs. Not enough muster behind it to do any real damage. The low kick just checked there by Amir.
Excellent leg check by Amir. A quick leg kick was very well checked by Amir. That was textbook stuff.
There's that whipping right round kick again by Shafyipour.
Well, I've been told that Amir in the next issue of International Kickboxer will be releasing his stretching training secrets. Perhaps that's the key to some of these kicks.
Chris Allen whips in a kick of his own. Amir grabs it and sweeps him with an inside leg kick that puts the Manchester Machine down.
Excellent anticipation by Amir. Caught the round kick and then just took out the supporting leg.
My word, what a fantastic world title fight we are seeing. One of the best Muay Thai fights we've seen on Fox Sports, folks. And another sweeping kick by the Prince, Amir Shafyipour.
Chris Allen looking a little weathered now. I think he's searching for some answers to some questions here that Amir's posing.
Oh, you can feel that leg kick by the Prince.
You have a look at Chris Allen's lead leg. Big welts on that lead thigh. And he's certainly going to be a sore boy in the morning.
Allen just moving in there with the left elbow, trying to do some damage to the jaw of the Prince.
See Chris Allen just smiling at Amir. They're both smiling at each other. That's a bit of a confidence, power play trick. You never show that you're hurt in Thai boxing. Never give your opponent an opening. The eyes are the window to the soul, as they say.
And it's Chris Allen keeping up the high work rate with the knees in the grappling situation, and then just thrown to the canvas. And he's actually got a cut opened up, I think, on his left eyebrow. And yes, there it is.
There's a cut that's now been examined by Centre Referee Bryce Burwhistle.
They'll get that one cleaned up by the corner.
The crowd at the auditorium here at Elysia have absolutely gone bananas.
Well, I can't think of a more exciting Muay Thai fight since Anthony Vella fought Louis the Ice. A beautiful side kick there by the Prince. Wades in, and that's the end of the 4th round of action. Mark the Hammer, what can you say? This is fantastic stuff.
I'd have to say Amir certainly looking the goods here tonight. He's now opened up a cut on Chris Allen's eye. Chris Allen is still looking fairly confident, though. He's not showing anything. He's a fairly confident and relaxed fighter. But unfortunately, he's at this stage on my scorecard anyway, he's just got to pick up the pace a little bit more and clock up a few more points to make it a clear decision. And that cut will certainly be something that Amir goes to work on in the final round. Do we see the boys locking up? Chris Allen looking to his corner. If you're wondering where he's looking at his corner for instructions. That's how relaxed the boy is seeing if they've got any answers. But that also shows his experience. Sometimes your corner can pick things that you can't. Being on the inside, they can see it a lot differently and a different perspective on the outside. So he was actually looking at his corner for some answers there.
All the talk, all the challenges, all the training, it's all come down to this. The 5th and final round of action for the World Super Welterweight title. Let's get it on between the Prince and the Manchester Machine. Shafyipour just leaning out with a jab and then lining up the wicked right round kick. Catches the leg of Allen, tries to sweep out his supporting leg.
The crowd are loving it. They're loving this type of fighting. They're loving the knees and elbows. And you won't find two better exponents of it in the Western world than these two boys.
Shafyipour has a confident look on his kisser. Backs Allen into the neutral corner, they tie up. Chris Allen goes to work with the knees to the ribs again. Tries to fire in the right elbow to the side of the head. Actually knees Amir to the front of his left thigh. A corking movement. And then lines up the big right elbow. It came close, but no cigar for the Manchester Machine.
There's a world-class athletes here. And they're really digging deep.
Amir almost took his head off with that huge right round kick. And a beautiful side kick to the midsection makes Chris Allen take a few steps backwards. Nice right hand by the Prince. We're probably down to about a minute and a half to go, and this is the final round of world title action. Another slamming leg kick by Shafyipour. Allen really needs to step up the tempo now. Bring home the bacon if he can. Spinning back fist by Chris Allen, didn't quite commit to it.
I tried the elbow there actually, Michael. He tried to get him, but he was just out of range to execute a spinning back elbow correctly enough. And I feel he then might have opted for the fist, but just offline.
Great side kick there by Amir, sends Chris Allen down.
I'll certainly pile up the points on the judges' scorecard. Amir looking very confident now, smiling.
Amir doesn't want to get too cocky. We're working a matter of milliseconds in this fight game. And one of those elbows flying into his temple, and it could be good night, Irene, and a cut opened up beneath the left eye.
It's opened up a small gash. And it's going to be a matter of whether they can stop the bleeding. And you can bet that Chris Allen, if this fight is recommenced, will go straight up and after that cut and try and stop this fight.
We get it underway again. Allen going directly, as you said, Mark, for that cut. Amir tries to back him into the blue corner and launch those wicked right round kicks.
I think Amir has
round kicks again to the ribs.
Let's not be conscious of it and just play at his own game and not worry about his eye cut.
Another fantastic round kick to the ribs by Amir, and another one. He's doing a number on Chris Allen at the moment. Allen fires back with the right hand. Sweat flying off the brow of Amir Shafyipour. Another rib cracker by the Prince. Allen just trying to measure him.
Well, the clock is counting down. The clock is counting down.
Is time against Chris Allen, Mark the Hammer?
Well, I'd have to say it could well be the case, because Amir's just, his work rate has been excellent here tonight.
That's the end of the fifth and final round of world title action. The Prince, Amir Shafyipour, being raised on the shoulders of his trainer. And likewise, the Manchester Machine being raised by his trainer, Dana Goodson. It's pandemonium here in centre ring. This one's gone down to the judges yet again.
Well, it's going to come down to the judges' scorecards, and it'll be very interesting to see the scoring after the fifth and final round. I don't know, I'd have to say Amir Shafyipour, after being the underdog, has certainly come up trumps here tonight. His work rate was excellent. He didn't give an inch. He was always all over Chris Allen. Chris Allen, in turn, always very staunch and very, very accomplished fighter. Came back with some great technique of his own, but it's going to come down to the judges, and we wait with bated breath to see what they've got to say, Michael. We look now at Amir's slide up side kick. Just timed it so perfectly that he took Chris Allen down. Nothing really that's going to knock you out, but it'll certainly take you off your game plan a little for a moment there. But that was perfectly timed and executed there by Amir, that slide up side kick.
Mark the Hammer, let me go on the record as saying that is one of the best Muay Thai fights I've ever seen.
Well, certainly the viewers at home watching this on Fox Sports should be very glad that they can watch it in the comfort of their own home, because it's something you won't see very often. You see the boys here mixing it up. Such is the power that when they clash, they get sort of thrown out of sync. And there's the break. Referee Bryce Birtwhistle checks the eye of Amir. You can see the gash there, quite a large gash. Certainly needs some stitches.
You've got no excuse, and neither does anyone else. There's nothing to joke about, because you had 1 or 2 fights when you fought one of the best in Japan. You're one of the good ones.
Amir Shafyipour, this man who has just seen so much action right around the world. He served on the front line of the Iran-Iraq war. He's had 13 fights in Thailand. He's fought in Sweden and Hong Kong and Iran.
He's fought at the legendary Thai stadium of Lumpini, which of course you can see fights coming to your living room for on Fox Sports various nights of the week. But Lumpini Stadium is the pinnacle of Thai boxing, and this man Amir Shafyipour has fought there and has pleased the Thais. They were very happy to see his technique, and that is certainly an honour to be recognised by the Thais in their major stadium. And
in the other corner we see the Manchester Machine, Chris Allen. A lot of people said he was going into this fight as the raging favourite.
Well, that was the decision that had been made after seeing some of his demolition jobs on some of the best that Australia had to offer. But Chris Allen, he'll certainly be back to fight another day, and you never know. We may even be fortunate enough to see a rematch in the somewhat near future. We look now at Amir launch that big right roundhouse kick that paid off so well for him during this bout. He's got a lot of power in that roundhouse kick, and he certainly got it right into the floating ribs of Chris Allen. That would have made him take at least one good backward step momentarily, and that's all you need. That's all it takes, just to get your opponent on the back foot so you can launch off.
And a great show of sportsmanship there, Mark.
Well, certainly these boys, after all the challenges and all the verbal warfare, came down to squaring it up in the ring, and after that, it's just down to business, and may the best man get the decision on the night and the world title.
Well, folks, it's all come down to this. The final decision of the judges for the World ISKA Super Welterweight Muay Thai title. Will it be the Persian Prince, Amir Shafyipour, or will it be the Manchester Machine, Chris Allen? Let's go across to our ring announcer, Howard Lee.
Thank you, Michael and Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the verdict, come on, a big round of applause. One of the greatest fights ever in Melbourne town. Chris Allen and Amir Shafyipour. Ladies and gentlemen, our 3 judges, Michael Bogle, Malcolm Bullner and Kelly Safe, have made a unanimous decision. Would you congratulate, ladies and gentlemen, retaining his world championship, the Iranian invader, Amir Shafyipour, World Muay Thai Super Welterweight Champion of the world.
The crowd have gone bananas. Amir Shafyipour being proclaimed the world champion. Mark the Hammer Castaneda deserves